Hello, folks, and welcome back to part 6 of our ToDo app. We've come quite far so far in the first 5 little videos. We now have an app, just let me run it. We now have an app that has a list, and the list is populated by an array. So here's our list, and it's populated by an array. And in the first 5 installments of this video, we talked all about setting that up. So if this is the first video you're watching, I suggest you go back and take a look at those videos. For what we're going to do today is we want to get the quick add button to add a new item to the array and to the list. We're going to use the add button in a later video because it's going to add a more sophisticated to-do. For today, we only care about adding a simple title to the list. We're going to do that using an alert. So let's get started. I'm going to quit here and I'm going to head into the code. Before we go too far, I want to show you a nice little feature of Xcode that allows us to keep our classes nice and clean. The first thing I want to show you is you'll notice that these 3 methods have to do with our data source, right? So we can actually cut those out, and I'm going to go down here to the bottom, and I'm going to make a class extension. So I'll say extension view controller, same type of class, and in there I'll put this, and I'll put a comment that says data source methods. So I don't have to be looking at these all the time. I can even go so far as to go up to the editor, and I can go to code folding, and I can say fold that. And you'll see that it gets nicely folded away for us to use later on. The next thing I'll do is I'll take our 2 actions, and I'll take those out, and I'll go down here, and I'll put a comment and say button actions, and this will be an extension of the view controller, and we'll put that in there. And these we'll leave in here, but let's fold those up because we won't be using those. So I folded that one up, and let's fold this one up. So let's fold this one up. And let's clean this up a bit. And boom, now we have much nicer code to work on. Now, for today, first thing I want to mention, extensions cannot contain data. So any sort of variables must be kept in the original class. The only thing you can put in extensions are groups of methods. But that's okay. So, for right now, what we're going to focus on is the do quick add. So let me just fold up the add just to get it out of the way for the moment. So we'll fold this up. Okay, and let's focus on this method right here. Well, the first thing I like to do anytime I'm dealing with an action is to make sure it's actually triggering. So I'll do an ns log, and I'll just write quick add clicked. And that will go into our log file, and I'll show you where that is in a moment. So let me run the app by using Command R. and let me click on the quick add button, and you'll see down here in the debugger area, we got the quick add clicked. So we know that things are working, so that's great. So let's go here and remove that line. So what we're going to do here is we are going to be, and let me just add some blank space. We're going to be adding something called an alert. So let me write here, let quick add alert equals UI alert controller. So just like we have view controllers, just like we have table controllers, we have alert controllers. It's giving us 4 choices for the constructor. The one we want is the last one that has a title, a message, and a style. So let's go ahead here and say the title is quick add. The string will be enter title of to-do. And the preferred style is going to be a dot alert. There's also something called action sheets, and we'll see those in a later video. Okay, I've made my quick alert, but it's underlined. Why is it underlined? Well, because it was never used. So what we want to do is we want to present the quick alert. So let's go ahead and present the quick alert using the present controller. We're going to use the present controller. Sorry, it's not present. Present view controller. Which view controller do we want to present? The quick add alert. Do we want it animated? Sure, why not? So let's give that a true. And do we want something to happen when the quick alert is done? Well, we're going to want to add if somebody presses an add button. So when the alert goes away just by itself, we don't really want to do anything. So what we'll do is we'll put a completion of nil. A completion is a function that gets called at a certain time in the future. So let's take a look at what we have right now. We have the quick add alert, and we're presenting it. So let's give that a try. So here we go. I click quick add and boom, there we go. I have my alert. But oops, it looks like I hit a dead end because I didn't supply any buttons. So I can't really do much here, but I can head back to the springboard by clicking the home button, which is Shift Command H. Okay, so obviously we need some buttons. So buttons in an alert are actually called actions. So let's start by making a cancel action. So I'll say let cancel action is going to be equal to what? UI alert action. UI alert action. Now which one do we want? Let's take the second one. The title will be what? Cancel. The style will be dot cancel. And do we want anything to happen when we cancel? No, not really. So the handler, or the method that will be called at the end, will again be nil. Now, we have our action, but we haven't what? We haven't linked the action to the alert. That's why it's red, because again, it's not used. So let's go ahead here and let's say quick add alert dot add action, the cancel action. So essentially I've said take the cancel action and add it as an action to the alert. Let's go ahead and try that out. Okay, so now we have a quick add, and now we have a cancel. Very good, so we're getting some functionality. Well, if we want somebody to add the title of a to-do, we better give them a what? We better give them a text box to write in. So what we can do here is we can say quick add alert dot add a text field. You can make a configuration handler for, let's say you wanted the text field to be a password box. The configuration handler could convert characters to dots or something. For us, we don't really need that. So I'm not going to have a handler. So I have my quick alert, and I now have a text field. And I added it all in one shot in this case. I didn't need to do a two-step because I'm able to do it in one step. Okay, let's give that a go. Okay, here we go. Where's my... And there we go, and boom, there we have a nice little text field we can type in, and we can press cancel. Okay, what do we need now? Well, sometimes we want to actually add the text. So we're going to be adding one more what? One more action, so it's going to be the add action. And this one is quite a bit trickier. So, our add action will be a UI alert action. It's going to have a title of what? Quick add. It's going to have a default style, but this time there will be a handler. If everything works out and they click add, we want to add what they wrote into the array, right? So we go back up here, we have our array, we want to add to that array when the alert is finished. We're not going to do any error checking, so even if they leave it blank, we're going to add it. We'll come back and fix that later on. So I'm going to show you how to write a handler. First thing we have to write is something called a closure. So I'm going to put the closure syntax here. So that's going to be our closure. But our closure is actually going to take multiple lines. So here's our... we're creating an alert action that has three parameters. The title parameter, the style parameter, and the handler parameter. The handler parameter has a closure which begins and ends with the curly braces, and then this closes the actual alert. Now, I have to put in the parameters for the handler. It turns out that I don't care about the parameter because I know if this handler executes, it means the quick add got clicked. So I'm going to put an underscore to mean I don't care about the parameters. I'm then going to write the word in. So let's take a look at what a closure looks like. A closure begins with a brace. It's followed by the parameters, in parentheses, followed by the word in. Now, what I have to do is I have to make sure that this alert has a text box. So I'm going to use a new statement called guard. And I'm going to ask. I'm going to say guard let. Quick add alert. Dot. Text fields. Dot first. Sorry, I'm going to write here the text field. The text field. So, I'm asking, is there a text field? If there is a text field, I'm then going to ask if the title, we're going to set that to the text field dot text. Then I'm going to write here else. And down here I'm going to say return. And let me explain this because it could be a little bit confusing. What does this say? This says, try and get the first text field out of the quick add alert. If it exists, very good, then try and get the text out of it. If either of these equals or assignments fail, it means that we don't have a valid text box, so let's finish this and let's return. But if I make it here, if we make it here, we have a valid title. Therefore, let's add it. Okay, so this guard says, check if all of this actually works out. If it works out, we skip the else and we have a title. If there is no first field or if the field has no text, things didn't work out, so we return. This is like a little protection mechanism in case the alert is not the one we thought it was. Okay, now that we have the title, let's put it somewhere. Where should we put it? Let's put it into the to-do list by using the append, the title. So what we've done is we've taken the title from here and we've appended it to the list. But the table view doesn't know that the array has been updated, so let's tell it to reload the data. Self.TableView.reload data. Okay. One final thing to do, we need to add the add action to the alert. So let's say quick add alert dot add action, and we're going to add what action? The add action. Okay, there's a lot happening here, so we'll discuss it more in class, but just to recap, if the add is clicked, we check if there's a text, and if there is a text box, we add it and we reload. Let's give it a run. So, I'm gonna say quick ad here, and for me I'll write publish ToDo videos. And we'll do quick ad, and boom, there we go, it worked. Okay, there will be more videos coming up. I hope you enjoyed those 6 videos. If you have any comments, leave them down below, and keep on programming. Have a great day.